Welcome back to Unraveled Game Thoughts. I have another Magic playthrough here, and we have my Biosoup Deck, which is a green-blue, I don't know, interesting deck I had fun building. And then a Adventure deck, which Adventure was a ability in, I cannot remember the name of the series that had it, but it was kind of a neat idea, so I made a deck out of it, and I'm still playtesting it to see how it turns out. So I'd already played one, and the Adventure deck won the first one. Kind of a close game, a little bit of back and forth, and then Adventure pulled it out in the end. Yeah, they're going to start first, and I've got a decent draw. We're going to play a forest and tap that to play an edge wall innkeeper. Whenever I cast a creature spell that has an adventure, I draw a card. I'll try to hold this up to the camera so you can kind of see it a little bit just before I place it down. And then we'll come back over here to Biological Soup, which couldn't have had a response because it had no land in play. So we're going to, let's see, we're not going to get any double blue in play on a turn, so we'll just play a Young Wolf. And this is a 1/1 with Undying. So whenever it dies, as long as it's not exiled, actually, however it dies, if it has no 1/1 counters on it, return it to the battlefield under my control with 1/1 counters on it. So, or with a 1/1 counter on it. So it just gets a little bit better when it dies, which is kind of neat. So we'll go to round 2, untap, and come over here. And let's see, we still want to kind of do a slow build. We can't do anything with the wolf. And we'll put that into play, and I will tap that to get another innkeeper. I'm not going to attack with the first one because I don't want to lose him. And yeah, we'll see if we can get a creature into play here next round. So coming back over to this deck, I do like the wolf to be able to get through. I've got the groundswell, that's pretty good. I don't think he's going to block that. I'm going to go ahead and see what I can do here. Adventure deck doesn't want to block the wolf because he doesn't want to lose innkeepers. So he's going to let it through. And as a result of that, I'm going to go ahead and play the groundswell because I played a land this turn, so it gives him +4/+4, and that'll do 5 damage outright at the very beginning of the game. Not too bad. I can't play anything else, but I like getting 5 damage out there. I will take it. And we will go on to round 3. All right, let's see here. We're going to go ahead and cast that blue spell, and we're gonna, or not spell, blue land, the island, and we're gonna play a Rosethorn Acolyte, which is a creature with an adventure, has the seasonal ritual, and since we have 2 innkeepers, we're gonna draw 2 cards, and yeah, that's gonna be our turn. And since those are this guy's tapped, we're going to go ahead and attack with him, knock the Biosoup down to 18. And the Rosethorn Acolyte, for those not familiar with it, it's a 2/3, and I can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. So a little bit of extra mana in my deck. Okay, so let's see. I definitely want to play that Evolving Wilds so I can get a blue. And there's not a whole lot else I can do. I could attack with the wolf, but I might as well use it to block. That might be better. I'm going to go ahead and play an Augury Owl first. And then I'm going to scry 3. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to play that first. First, I'm going to use my thing here because doing the augury owl isn't going to help me that much. And then I'm going to shuffle, and then I'm going to scry 3. That makes more sense. We're going to do that. So there we go. We have done that. Now we'll tap the other 2 and play the augury owl and scry 3. 1, 2, 3. Now let's see what we got. Hessian Infiltrator, a Null Tread Gargantuan. That's not bad. They're all pretty good, and they're all playable. I like this one because it just gets stuff out into play pretty quick. And this guy works well with this guy into play. And honestly, I kind of feel like this guy will get me through my deck faster. So I'm going to go with those, and I'm just going to leave those like that because that will work well with the creatures I have out. So we are good to go, and we're going to pause there and see if that is enough starting. I say pause there, just gonna not play any more cards, and we'll go to here. All right. Got some good stuff here. Still have those. Doesn't have a big enough creature, but that would probably be better for a large creature. However, sometimes it's good to just get speed. You know what? I don't want to play a plains. I want to play a forest. And I think just getting something in play that allows us to draw will be best. So I am going to play a giant killer because I can draw 2 cards, and that's going to be pretty helpful. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tap 1 and play another Edgewalled Innkeeper because that will give me even more. And he's only got those 2. I'm going to go ahead and attack with my Rosethorn Acolyte. Well, my Young Wolf is what I'm going to block with, and then do that. And I don't think there's anything else that I would do at this point in time. Yeah. None of these other options are terribly great. So we're just gonna let that go at that. And then it'll come back over to Biosoup, who will draw a card and play a land. And then we are going to cast a Coiling Oracle. We reveal it. It's not a land. It goes straight to our hand. That is fine. I don't have any flyers, so we're going to attack for 1. And we'd probably take anything out with that. So we'll attack with those 2 and see what happens. Is this an instant? So I have a Garen Bridge Carver. In the adventure, I haven't played an adventure yet, but I can do the adventure side. Target creature get +2/+2 until end of turn. So I will actually block the Young Wolf with my giant killer, and then use the adventure to give it +2/+2. So he would have to have some response, which he does not, to block that. So this will make that a 3/4, and that will take out the wolf. And then Giant Killer will remain alive. And is there anything else? So this is exiled. The way the adventures work is the adventure will now go into exile, and I can play that creature from exile. But I didn't play the creature part, so I don't get to trigger the Innkeeper unless I'm actually playing the creature. So that is, well, that was a block. That was a block, and I would have taken 1 more because of this guy coming through. So it's going to be my turn. And I've got those up there in play, which is fantastic. I am going to play a Plains this time. I could do that, but actually having the flying creature might be more beneficial. I think I'm going to do that. I am going to, and I have no blue cards, so I'm going to use a blue for the colorless mana here. And I'm going to tap 2 white in that and play a Ardenvale Tactician. And that is got 2/3 and flying. But really what it does is lets me draw 1, 2, 3 cards and gives me some more options down the road. Interesting. I could play one of those, which wouldn't hurt. Give me 3 more cards. Target creature gets flying, and so he does not have a flying creature. I have 1 flying creature, but I might be better off. That's a tough choice. I think I'm going to tap this, and I'm going to make this guy flying. And that's going to take my white. I tap that for a white and that for 1. And he is going to get +2/+1 and flying until the end of turn, and attack for 3 to put Biosoup down to 15. So he will stay, and that one will be exiled and go out there to be played later. And I am going to call that done. All right, coming back over. I think I forgot to do that for that last turn. Over here. So we've got the Null Tread. We've got this guy. We've got that. The Null Tread is pretty handy, but this guy, or this guy rather, can be kind of annoying. So I think what I'm going to do is tap this and play Grafted Identity. And I'm going to sacrifice this creature to take that guy. And he gets a +1/+1 counter. So he's a 2/3 with the ability to tap other creatures, which I may or may not be able to use at some point. But it takes him and will keep him from tapping my Null Tread every single turn and getting rid of my helpful creature. So he's not going to help to attack, so we're going to hold for now. And we've got our 3 innkeepers. We're going to untap, and then we will draw, go to turn 6. And we're going to go ahead and play, I'm going to play a white land. And we're going to start by playing this Fairy Guildmother from outside of play, which is going to let us draw 3 cards. That is fantastic. Permanent I control my owner's hand, huh? It's a tough choice. We've got a lot of options here. But I think the one I like the most, I can search my library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield, and shuffle my library. I like that. I am going to tap those 3 for this adventure and put that there, and I'm going to go hunt for a land. I'll just get a blue, comes into play. Put it into the battlefield and then shuffle your library. It's a sorcery, but comes into play untapped as a separate, not my land for the turn. So I will take that. And let's see, he's got my dude over there. That doesn't give him flying, does it? Yep, it doesn't give him flying. He doesn't have any flying creatures. So it will make sense to do a couple of things. One is we are going to tap that, and we'll tap this for a for the Fairy Guildmother and put that there and give him +2. So he's going to attack for 4, and she just came into play, so I don't think she can do anything. That's 4, and so no flyers, so they'll take 4 damage down to 11. And the other thing that we will do is we're going to tap this and cast Return to Nature and destroy this enchantment. And that's going to go away, and the 1/1 stays on the creature. So that comes back to my side with Summoning Sickness. I will take it, and that is all I can do. So, Biological Soup, not doing so hot. Draws a land. We're going to have to get a bigger creature out. So we're going to go ahead and try for that and see if that helps a little bit. And when he comes into play, I put a creature I control on top of my library. So I will do that, but I will also put that into play for next round, and that is my play. All right, so let's see, back over here to the adventure deck, turn 7, and adventure deck has some good options here. We're going to draw a card. Ooh, that's a good one. We got a Ginger Brute, which I can pay a mana to make it unblockable, and that can be pretty handy. Although we don't have a lot of things to increase its cost with, but what we'll do is just see what we can get in our hand. I will play a Fairy Guildmother out here, which will draw me 1, 2, 3 cards. There's a Giant Killer. I could use that to take that guy out, but I don't know if I necessarily want to. It's not impossible. You know, what might be extremely helpful is if we use Shepherd of the Flock and we pay a blue and we pay a white and, oh, never mind. That's not what I thought it was. I thought I had one. Oh, it was this guy that taps creatures, so I don't need to do that. I could kill a creature. I'm just trying to decide if it's worth it. Yeah, it probably is. So we'll go ahead and tap those 3. And we will play the Giant Killer, and we will destroy this creature with power greater than 4. He's got no mana to counter anything with. That can return a permanent to our hand. That can add a mana. He is not flying, so anything with flying is going to get through, which is rather nice. So, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to cast the Garen Brig Carver, so that I can draw 3 more cards. And that one's handy, that one's kind of handy. I really don't need these lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 cards. I don't need that land. So I'll just discard those. I've got the Carver. And I will definitely attack with these 2. That will do 3 damage. I could. Well, that would be 1 mana. I couldn't. I was thinking I could tap. Well, I could attack with him. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to attack with those. That would do 3, 4, 5 damage. I'll take it. Go to 6. And then it is Biological Soup's turn. It looks like Biosoup is going to be out of luck here. I don't think we're going to get anything of benefit. I will play the Oracle, which lets me look at a card, and I can put it in my hand after revealing. And I will just get these blockers out there, play the Wolf, get that out there. He's unblockable. We'll attack for 2, get them down to 12, and then hope for something where I can counter a creature spell and put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 creature I control, which might help me. So let's see if we can get lucky. Get him to waste mana over here. So we're going to draw our card, and I'm thinking we can probably win this round. The first thing I'm going to do is I don't have any blue cards, so I am for sure going to play this Lucky Clover, because then every adventure spell I play gets copied, and I like that. I'm going to go ahead and pay 1 to play a giant killer, which he doesn't know what I'm going to try to play. He's going to go ahead and counter that. And then that goes there, and then I get a 1/1 on a creature I control. So I'll put a 1/1 there in case I get to attack more with it. Which isn't going to probably help him that much, given what I can attack with. But I also don't get to draw cards for playing that creature, unfortunately. But I think what I will do... Those don't have adventures. This has an adventure, and it's fairly inexpensive to play. So I'm going to play this, no response, draw 3 cards. Do I have a 1 cost? I don't have a 1 cost there. Huh, interesting. So that was not as helpful as I had hoped. I think what I'm... this is what I needed, actually. I'm going to tap this and this. It won't matter that I can double it. I can tap up to 2 target creatures. I am going to do that. I'm going to tap both of these creatures so that they can't block. And then I will attack for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 damage, getting through. We'll wipe out the biological soup that couldn't handle it. So we will get Adventure Deck with 12 life remaining on turn 8, I believe. I think I forgot to turn the timer there. Now, there you go. That is a little bit of these 2 decks. This deck that you saw me play with here, the Adventure Deck, I built this kind of on a whim, like just, that sounds like a neat mechanic. I'm just going to try to build one. And I will say it is one of my favorite decks. And it's not because it's necessarily one of the better decks. I actually don't know how good it is. I haven't tested it enough. But it is fun to play with. And I went with adventures that were blue, green, and white. But man, it is just neat how you can, it's got so much versatility to it. The spells I've played are largely, to either get mana, get creatures, or boost my creatures. Some of them to kind of deal with the opponent stuff a little bit. It seems like most games I can kind of do reasonably well. And one of my favorite cards in here, I'll have to find it here. Oh, here it is. This is an absolutely awesome card. It's called Fae of Wishes. I'll hold it up there. And for a blue and 3, you can choose a non-creature card you own outside the game, reveal it, and put it into your hand. It's got to be a non-creature. So my sideboard is largely non-creature cards. Now, I put this Crystalline Giant in here, so those are just in case I need a little bit more oomph in my initial creatures. But I'm assuming you can grab these other ones as sorceries, and they count as both a sorcery and a creature card, and so you're getting a non-creature card. But it's also a 1/4 flyer if you put it into play, and you can discard 2 cards and return this to your hand. So the Fae of Wishes is just a really interesting card. There you go. That is some more of these decks. Post any comments you have. Thanks for joining me, and have a great afternoon.